जो भी आपने अभी फंक्शंस पढ़े हैं वो फंक्शंस क्या होते हैं? वो फंक्शंस आपको किसी भी सब्जेक्ट के प्री डिफाइंड फंक्शंस होते हैं और आपका टीचर ये बताता है अगर आप इस फंक्शन को चलाएंगे तो ये रिटर्न करेगा, या आपके कैलकुलेटर पे वो फंक्शन ऑलरेडी मौजूद होता है, आप उसको वैल्यू फीड करते हैं, वो आपको आंसर कर देता है। तो कंप्यूटर में ये फंक्शंस प्री रिटन शॉर्ट कोड्स होते हैं। तो जब आप अपना प्रोग्राम लिखेंगे तो आप अपने प्रोग्राम में इन फंक्शंस को कॉल करेंगे। तो जो स्ट्रिंग मैनिपुलेशन है उसके अंदर आपके पास काफी सारे फंक्शंस होते हैं। ये स्ट्रिंग मैनिपुलेशन फंक्शंस कहलाते हैं, ये हम इनको देखेंगे, ठीक है। अच्छा, अब आप देखें हमने यहाँ पर एक वेरिएबल x डिक्लेयर किया, यानी कि बनाया कंप्यूटर्स की मेमोरी में, और उसको हमने टाइप किया दी स्ट्रिंग। ये स्ट्रिंग डेटा टाइप है, ठीक है। इसके बाद हमने उसको एक वैल्यू दे दी x इज इक्वल टू जफर अली खान, ठीक है। हमने उसको एक वैल्यू दे दी x इज इक्वल टू जफर अली खान। अच्छा, आप देखें यहां पर आपको एक राइट का फंक्शन नजर आ रहा है। इस एक फंक्शन के अलावा जितने भी फंक्शंस हैं ऊपर से नीचे तक, ये सारे स्ट्रिंग को जो इवैल्यूएट करते हैं, इवैल्यूएट करने का मतलब वो उसको देखते हैं, समझते हैं, परखते हैं, उसको रिप्लाई करते हैं, वो स्ट्रिंग को लेफ्ट से राइट पे जज करते हैं, लेफ्ट से राइट पे जज करते हैं उसको, ठीक है। सिर्फ राइट का फंक्शन स्ट्रिंग को राइट से लेफ्ट पर देखता है, बाकी सारे फंक्शन स्ट्रिंग को लेफ्ट से राइट पर जज करते हैं। So basically all functions related to strings would have different functionalities, different purposes. We need to understand all those. So let's say we declared a variable of type string. The variable is x. The value that is assigned to the variable is Zafar Ali Khan. We know that this value is being assigned from right side to left side. That's why we are using this arrow, and the prime purpose of this arrow is pseudocode. All right. So the first function, you need to understand these functions in three terms: the work of the function, what it does; secondly, what it outputs; thirdly, what is the type of that output. So the length function, what it does, it evaluates that what is the length of this x is in terms of number of characters in x. How many characters are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you can see that the nth character is 14. This is 14th character. The n is 14th character. So from z to n there are 14 characters. So output will be 14, and obviously this 14 is integer, so the type of the output is integer. Now you need to understand that since this is a function is returning a value, that value needs to be stored somewhere, it needs to be caught somewhere, and that will be this variable a. So basically what's happening, that this x is being submitted to length function works around it and gives a value back. That value will be assigned to a. So the type of the a should be integer. So when we declare a, we will be declaring it as integer, so that when we run this function, whatever the value that it sends back, we know that the output will be integer, will be assigned to a. Then there are three functions called left, right, and mid. So x is Zafar Ali Khan, still it is Zafar Ali Khan. So left function, there are two arguments. These values which we submit to the function as input are basically called arguments, and they are also called parameters, but for time being I will be referring to them as arguments. Arguments are the inputs to the function. So this x is an argument and this x is an argument as well. So there are two arguments here for the left function. What left function does, it evaluates this variable from the left and picks up 5 characters from the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why 5 characters? Because the second argument says so. So it will return what? 5 characters from the left. And obviously in a string, 5 characters from left will still be string. So the output of the left 5 characters will be Zafar, which is a string, and that output will be assigned to B. Similarly, we have got right and mid functions, and these three combinations of mid, right, left is called extraction. But this extraction is not in terms that if we extract from X left 5 characters, those left 5 characters will be eliminated or removed from variable X. No, that is not the case. They will be read from variable X and will be assigned to the variable which is on the left side of the assignment operator. But they will not change, modify the X. So the output will be what? In string, and this B will be string. Then right function. What right function does, instead of left, it starts from counting right. It starts counting from the right. So how many from the right? 4. So you go like 1, 2, 3, 4. But it will output what? From the left to the right. So if we start counting from the right, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 4 characters. When it will output, it will still be written from left to right, since we look at things from left to right, but it would have counted it from right to left, and it is showing it from left to right. What I'm trying to tell, that just the right function starts counting a string characters from the right, and left rest all of the functions, they will start counting the string from the left side. So X, right from the X, how many characters? 4. Then comes mid. What mid does, mid has got 3 arguments, X, 7 and 3. The first one is basically from which string. We say that from string X starts from where? From 7th character. So this is 7th character A. How many characters? 3. So 7, 8, 9. So 7 will be treated as the first character, and then 7, 8, 9. That is 1, 2, 3. So it will extract from the middle of this variable, start from this position, and takes this many characters. So in X, from the left, starting at the 7th character, 3 characters will be picked up, and these characters will be this Ali. And obviously all extractions are giving you strings, so the type of this D will be string. So B is Zafar, C is Khan, D is what? Ali. So these 3 functions are called what? Extractions, left, right and mid. One thing that you need to understand over here, that mid can replace left and right both. If you want to pick up 4 characters from the right, you can use mid. That will start from this position 10, then 11, 12, 13, sorry, from position 11, then take 4 characters. So this would be like mid of X, 10, 4. So this can pick Khan. And if it is used in substitution of left, then it will be like mid of X starting from 1, 5. So mid can replace left and right, but in most of the cases when we want to pick from the left, we will be using left. And when we will be wanting to pick from right, we will be using right, but mid can replace both left and right. There will be so many occasions when you will be requiring to read a string character by character by character. हर बार में हर लूप में आपको एक एक कैरेक्टर करके उठा के उसको इवेल्युएट करना होगा कि वो कैरेक्टर क्या है. दिस इज अ कॉमन केस दैट यू विल हैव टू रीड every character from left to the right in a string. That is called run length. We would have to run the length of the string, and in every step we will be picking up one character, and then we cannot use anything other than the mid. Now there are a few more functions, and there is a class of functions called searching. They search for one pattern or character in another string. They search one pattern or character in another string. These are called searching patterns or characters. There are two different commands. One is called locate, the other one is in string. So in pseudocode, whenever you will be writing, you will be using word locate command. And in Visual Basic.NET that we will be using to practice our all functions and the programs, the command is called in string. Now, if it is Visual Basic.NET, we will be using in string, otherwise we will be using locate, and they both are the same. Now, there are two varieties, there are two variations in locate or in string function. Now, what are those? So let's say I want to search for this space in X. I want to search for this first space in X. So what I will be doing, I will be using E is equal to in string, or E is equal to locate. Locate in what? X. What is X? Zafar Ali Khan. A space. Now you see that in double quotation, there is a space in between. All right, so system will start searching for a space. Is it a space? 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 No. Is it a space? Yes. Then at which location? Sixth character. So it will return 6. All right, so if you want to look for Ali, instead of this space you will write Ali over here and it will say 7. If you would like to search for Khan, then it will say 11. So either it is a single character or multiple characters. It will tell you the first occurrence of that particular pattern or character's location. How we do find location? We start from the left and we will start counting every single character until we find that particular pattern or location. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth space, 7, 8, 9, 10th space, and that is how it goes on. Sir, this locates only a particular character. No, it might be a pattern. As I said that I can go for Ali. So in that case, it will return 7 because Ali starts from 7. So it can be that, not a pattern, not a single character, but also a pattern. So it can look for for one string in another string. It can go and look for one string into another string. That is also possible. There is a variation. In first variation, we have not actually mentioned where to start from. So there is a reoccurring question. There is always a question. So what if we like to find the second space, not the first space? For that, you would have to put in some effort. And that, the thing is that a language might have a particular function already that helps you to deal with so many things without any complication in codes and all. But the thing is that we have to be surrounded by the boundaries set in our syllabus. So there might be more functions in a particular language for doing so much more easily without writing so many lines of the code. But the thing is that you would have to be inside that one particular boundary set out by your syllabus. So anyways, now This is the second variation where instead of 2 arguments, there are 3. What is the second variation? If before X you like computer to start finding a particular character not from the first character, rather from another location, in that case you can do that as well. So now E is 6. 6 is integer, so E is basically integer. Now you would like to search for the next space. So what you would do, you will ask it to start from E plus 1. So what is E? 6. So it will start from 7. It will start from 7. Now it will start from 7. Is it a space? Is it a space? Is it a space? Is it a space? Yes. So what is this location? 10. So there are 2 variations. One is when you don't care about a particular location, rather you want computer to start looking for that particular pattern from the first character. But if you like your computer to start not from first character but some other location, in that case you will mention that location. Like in this particular case, we made that location E plus 1, that is 7. So if I like it to start from 7, it will start from 7. Look for what? Space. It will tell you, कि भाई ये तो 10 पे मिला. So this in string in pseudocode is replaced with locate. Their functionality is same. Now, this one is about character set. Character set. What are character sets? ASCII and Unicodes are character set. All right. So we don't mean anything from Unicode over here. We just want to use ASCII. So we know what ASCII is. ASCII is the number given by your operating system to every single character over your keyboard. ASCII is a number that is given to every single key over your keyboard. Those ASCII numbers are set and they are standard all over the world. So what is the ASCII of this character? The thing is, if it is pseudocode, we will be using one thing I again missed. If it is pseudocode, we will be using single character for single quotation for characters. And if it is Visual Basic, we will be using double quotations. All right. So if it is pseudocode, we will be using single quotations for character and double quotations for string text. But if it is Visual Basic, for both, we will be using double quotations. Now, I hope that you have already noticed that it is Visual Basic. So Visual Basic does not have an arrow pointing left, rather it is having equal to sign. So it means that the result from this function will be assigned to F. Over here, it is basically pseudocode. So in pseudocode, we use arrow. Although there is no harm using equal to sign in pseudocode as well, but you need to understand that it is always preferred to use arrow as it is prescribed by your syllabus, but they don't cut marks, CI people. Now, ASCII is a function. Whatever the character that you give to ASCII, ASCII will ask the operating system for the number allocated to that particular character of the keyboard, and that number then will be assigned to G. Like for this A, capital A, the ASCII code is 65. This is worldwide standard. You don't have to learn any of these ASCII codes at the moment, but afterwards you would have to. I'll explain it when I will be using this particular function later in my codes. So now ASCII of A. So what is ASCII of A? 65. That will be assigned to G, and remember the output will be integer, so the type of G is integer. CHR or character is inverse of ASCII. What it does, it takes ASCII code, the number, and gives you what is the related character. So basically, that is how it works. So if you give it 67, Since A is 65, B will be 66, 67 will be C. So this will be assigning H the character C. So what will be the output of this CHR function? A character, because it is already returning a character. Sir, what these S keys are actually used for? Arham, whenever we press a key over the keyboard, whenever we press a key over the keyboard does not generate the character, rather it generates basically a number which is related to that character. That number is in binary form, gets transferred to the computer, and computer's operating system then recalculate that what is the shape related to this ASCII number, and then that shape is shown over the screen. All right. So let me show you ASCII table so that you have good idea of it. You see over here, you can see all of the ASCII characters from 0. This is denary, this is hex, this is octal, and this is the character in red. All you have to pay attention to denary, decimal, or your character. So from 0 to space, from 0 to 32, all of these characters cannot be seen because they are either escape key, they are either your shift keys, they are the bell that you listen to in computers and all. And if it is 13, this is your enter. So from 0 to 32, these cannot be seen. From 32 onwards, you can see this is exclamation mark, this is double quotation, this is plus sign. They all have their respective ASCII characters. This 0 is 48, this 1 is 49. So if it is 0 and 1 over your keyboard, when you press the key, basically it is not 0 and 1, it is rather 48, 49, 50 and onwards. Similarly, capital A is 65, small a is 97, capital Z is 90, small z is 122, and this delete key is the last one, that is basically 127. That is how it works. When you will study this first chapter of paper 1, I'll re-explain it. This is the topic over there. Now, if you like to know the characters ASCII code, this is the function ASCII that basically tells what is the related ASCII code for this. So as you have just seen, this A has got what? 65 ASCII code that will be assigned to G, and this is the vice versa thing. So if you give ASCII code, it will give you the character related to that. Remember, the output is character, and it will be shown like this. Then comes concatenation. Concatenation is merging. Merging of what? String. So if there are two different strings, let's say what was B? B was Zafar, and C was what? Khan. Now these are two different strings. मुजफ्फर क्या कहते हो बेटे? Saad asks, sir, are these keys different for Urdu or other characters? Yes, definitely. These keys are available. They are there for every other language in the world, and they are different for Urdu. They are different for Arabic. They are different for Hebrew. They are different for Japanese, for English, and all. Yes, but in that case, we call them universal keys, not ASCII code. ASCII code only covers English. The second one is मोहम्मद हुजैफा व्हाट ही सेज सर कीबोर्ड में तो 104 कीज होती हैं तो एस की टेबल में 126 क्यों है basically these are not 126 these are 128 0 to 127 other keys like F1 F2 page down page up they do not have any related ASCII code but those are the functionality of your hardware. Alter does not have, shift does have. So not everything on the keyboard is having associated ASCII code. ठीक है. And the other thing is I told you that from 0 to 32, all the keys are hidden. Those are not something which can be seen. Those are control codes. So over here, keyboard, you just have escape, tab, shift, control, S control, and enter as control codes, and other control codes are not actually ones which can be controlled through the keyboard. So not every ASCII code is available through the keyboard. All of those can be seen are available through the keyboard, and those who cannot be seen, which are called control codes, are partially available. Anyways, now we have got concatenation. The name is different, concatenation, but simply it means that we are शिफ्ट से अलग कैरेक्टर भी तो हो सकते हैं, इसलिए 127. जी हाँ, जी हाँ. We'll look into it better when we will study ASCII codes for chapter 1 and P1. We will study it thoroughly. I'll explain it. So concatenation. Concatenation means what? Concatenation means is to merge two different string and found a third string. All right. So B was Zafar, C was Khan. So this is basically the and sign. And sign is called ampersand. 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 So this is B. B is what? B is Zafar. What is C? Khan. So Zafar merged with space and merged with C and assigned to I. So this would become Zafar Khan. So two strings were taken separately. They are put together. They are made one. They are made one, and they as one they are assigned to I. This is called concatenation. In pseudocode, you can use plus sign as well. But in Visual Basic, you will have to actually use concatenation. All right, so mind it, ampersand. So in Visual Basic, this will be ampersand sign and sign, but in pseudocode, it will be a plus sign. This is called concatenation. Now casting. Casting means to turn one data type into another data type. What does it mean? It means that this is integer. This is integer 34. We know that, let's say this J is integer. Let's say this A is integer. We have declared A as integer. We know the size of integer, that is 4 bytes. So this is first byte, second byte, third byte, and fourth byte. We assign 10 to it. So 10 will become what? 1, 2, 4, 8. So 8 plus 2, 10. But we have got all these 32 bits available. So we can make a number from 0 to 2 to power 32 is 4 billion. 0 to 4 billion. I can create and assign any number from 0 to 4 billion to this A. जी अबू शाहरुख आप क्या कहते हैं sir, if I'm writing sentence which contains double quotation, how can I write that string? I'll tell you. In that case, we use double quotations. I'll tell you, like, let's say if I want to save my note is equal to this character and that character. In that case, if you want your double quotation to be the part of double quotation inside a string, then we will be using double quotation. The output will be this. This will be your output then. So we use double quotations in order to have double quotation. Inside our string, we use double quotations. Anyways, so I was telling you about uh, casting. So I just tried explaining that this a is integer and a value 10 is assigned to it. This b is now a string and this 10 is assigned to it. As I just told you that the ASCII code of 0 is 48 and the ASCII code of 1 is 49. So this b will be saved as this form. This is 48. This b is a string that has got two characters, one for 0, but this is, since it is a string, this is taken as one ASCII character, this is taken as another ASCII characters. So this is 48, 1, 2, 4, 8. 16 plus 32 is 48. 16 plus 32, 48 plus 1, 49. So now this b in the binary form is being represented like this, and this a in binary form is being represented like this. What is the difference? If you look at that over the screen, it says that print a, it will print this. If you want to print b, it will print this. Apparently there is no difference. Both a and b will print 10. But the thing is the type of a is integer, so it is being saved like this in the binary form. Over here the type is string, so this will be saved like this. So turning one type into another, either a string to integer or integer to string, is called casting. It does not have any apparent difference because they both will be outputting the same thing, but it has actually a difference in their storage formats. The string b cannot be used as in mathematics. Obviously not. You would have to cast it back in integer and then you will use it. Arham. So if you want to make use of this b in mathematical operation, you have to cast it back. So what is this casting? Casting is turning a string into number, number into string. Apparently, you won't see any difference. Internally, it will be casted. So this function string is taking one argument as integer and turning it into a string form. So if you take this a, make b as the string of a, so a string function will turn this form into this form, and this val function does vice versa. This val function turns it vice versa. So let's say this is 123.5 and it will be assigned to k. It will become 123.5, but since it is now in real form, there are no brackets to cover it. There are no quotations to cover it, sorry. So a string, it is being converted to binary form, integer. An integer, it is being converted to binary form in a string. This is called casting. So casting has much more profound effect over your programming in coming days. Casting would be very much important. All right. So we will see into it. Last two functions are uppercase and lowercase. What uppercase function does, uppercase function turns the whole string into its uppercase form. And lowercase function, what it does, it turns every string character to in its lowercase form. So if it is ASDF in lowercase and you apply uppercase function, this might also be called upper. All right, upper. So what it does, it actually converts this ASDF to its uppercase form. Output will be string. And this Zafar, when it is being converted to lowercase, This function lower will convert this Zafar uppercase form into lowercase form. That is how it works. All right. So these are basically string manipulation functions. These are string manipulation functions.